We're here and we're live. We're live on Zoom. We're live on YouTube. Just sent it live, guys. Welcome to the call tonight. We've got some awesome stuff for you tonight. I'm so glad you're here because we're going to be doing Deal or No Deal. So fan favorite. We're going to be doing Deal or No Deal. We're going to be doing the rental edition tonight. And the goal of this game. So this is a game that I learned several years ago, and I found that it's an incredible activity to learn how to analyze properties quickly. And in this case, tonight we're going to be doing rental properties. You're going to learn how to analyze rental properties on the fly, right? And as we go back and we talk about, our deal spotter system and the process that we use between generating a property lead through analyzing the numbers to making the offer and doing the inspection and then closing on the deal, this is an important part. This is step two, and we need to get quick at it. So I'm glad you're here today. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna learn a lot. Make sure if you have questions, feel free to ask them, guys. Before we get started, want to do a couple of things. So every week we have our weekly announcements. So just so you're aware, we are streaming this live on YouTube, and those recordings are available immediately. So if you're here with us on the call, or if you're watching live from YouTube but you can't catch all the meeting, or you want to rewatch it and relearn some stuff, those recordings are available immediately. You can go to our YouTube channel. That's Flippin' with Mitch and Maeli. And you can check out these by just clicking on the live tab. You can check out all of the Mitch and Maeli live episodes that we've recorded and that we've streamed on YouTube. So now we have uploaded a couple of videos since the last meeting, so I want to share that with you. We're still working on our rentals track on our YouTube channel, Flippin' with Mitch and Maeli. So this is a 16-part educational rentals 101 crash course that we've been uploading over the last couple weeks now. And since we met last,
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
what's that?
You gotta share the thumbnail. I mean, that is the funniest.
Right? No, they're gonna have to go to the YouTube channel to see it.
All right, well there you go. Here's the thumbnail.
So we've since last week we've uploaded how to find rental properties and finding deals anywhere in the country, how to analyze those rental properties quickly, which is what we're going to be exercising today through the Deal or No Deal game. We've uploaded a video on how to raise money for your real estate deals, how to inspect your properties, so how to fully analyze your properties, so we call that long analysis. And then 2 days ago, we dropped the real estate closing process and the things that you should do when you close on a property, things that you should make sure you have in place through that closing process. And then most recently today, an hour ago, we dropped 6 tips to become a better landlord. So how to manage tenants and everything that goes into that. So check that out. That's on Flippin' with Mitch and Maeli on YouTube. So you guys are going to want to check that out. Now, we have a few live meetings that we do regularly. There are live meetings all around the country. So if you guys are interested in plugging in with like-minded individuals, you're going to want to reach out to me because, and you can do that in the comments section in YouTube. You can do that in the chat section here on Zoom. But reach out to me. We can get you plugged in wherever you are in the country. There are like-minded individuals who are members of our community, our nationwide community, that are out doing deals and working with people that are local to your area. You're going to want to plug into those. So we in Utah, where Maeli and I are, in the Salt Lake City area, along the Wasatch Front, we have live meetings every Tuesday at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Those meetings are in Sandy. And then every Thursday we've got a meeting at 7 p.m. in Sandy. So you guys, if you're in the Utah area, plug in with us. If you're anywhere else in the country, reach out to me. We'll find out where those real estate community meetings are being held, and we'll plug you guys in. So wanted to announce that. Another announcement is we are going to be holding a live workshop. I will be making a YouTube video out of this, so you guys that aren't necessarily local to Utah will get a chance to see it. But we are doing a live workshop on how to find and fund real estate transactions. That's going to happen Saturday at 9 a.m. It's going to last until about noon. So you're going to want to be there. It's awesome. Jared Brinchley and I are teaching that class. It's going to be in Sandy, Utah. If you are not local and you're not going to be in the area, or you can't make the meeting, it's okay. We're going to edit it down and we're going to throw up a video or a couple of videos on YouTube from that meeting. So you're going to want to catch that. And then we have our meeting with Mark Kohler. So Mark Kohler, who is a professional CPA and attorney. This guy, I mean, he's an international speaker. He's a published author. He knows his stuff when it comes to tax and legal. And you know what? This is a very boring topic, right? Tax and legal, nobody wants to sit through a class about taxes and legal stuff. But Mark makes it fun. He makes it exciting to learn about this stuff. And as entrepreneurs and as investors, we need to know this stuff. So you're going to want to plug into that. That's going to be in Idaho Falls, February 17th and 18th. And if you'd like information, this might be one, you know, if you've got a budget to travel for educational purposes, this is one that you're going to want to travel to. So Maeli and I will be heading up to Idaho Falls February 17th and 18th. There are some requirements that you need. This is for educated investors only. So you're going to want to reach out if you want to attend that, but that's going to be an awesome opportunity. And then so every Wednesday we have these live streams, we have these calls. The purpose of these calls are just to connect with real estate investors around the country, people who are interested in real estate investing, students of all shapes and sizes, no matter where you are, whether you're a beginner, a novice, or an expert. This call is for you. So we have these calls every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Tonight we're doing Deal or No Deal. We're going to do the rental edition of Deal or No Deal, which is a fun game. You guys are going to learn about that in a second. Next week we have a guest coming in. Carrie Mann is going to be teaching us on understanding mortgages. And then on the 15th of February, we are going to be live smiling and dialing. So we're going to be calling seller finance leads and negotiating how we're going to be buying properties from these seller finance leads, right? So you guys are going to want to plug into that. You don't want to miss that. That is February 15th. Make sure you're there. It's the same way you got into the call today. So you can join us on Zoom. For those of you who are on YouTube, you can join us on Zoom. It looks like we got a few people on YouTube right now. So, you're going to want to join us. Do we have people on YouTube? Yes, we do. Okay, good. So you're going to want to join us on that day. Make sure you mark that down in your calendars. Now, with that said, that covers the announcements. We're going to get into the Deal or No Deal game here in just a second, but I want to turn the time over to my beautiful wife, Maeli, for a second to discuss our market update for this week. So, Maeli, take it away.
Okay, so I do have some fun announcements. Should I already share my screen? Hopefully. Hey, why don't you give me some access here?
You got it, dude. One second.
First off, hi everyone! Look at all these wonderful, magical faces. I know, it's late at night, people are making dinner, doing all sorts of crazy stuff while they're listening, and that is totally fine. This is one of those classes or, training videos where it is very interactive, so you might want to, I mean, you can totally just listen, but it is really fun to participate because most of what we do as investors is just running numbers, right? Because if the deal doesn't want to work, if it to knock it out. I know we have quite a few people on here that are, I mean, Aaron Merrill, I know Rosa, I know multiple people on here are winners. They're just constantly winning because they've gotten really quick at this game. That's fun. We need to give them some competition, so I hope some of you are ready for that. It will be exciting. But yeah, as far as the market update, I think he let me share screen, so let's see that. So you look at Utah real estate. Let's go to this one. If you go to home, there is a big announcement. Oh, it kind of disappeared, but that's okay. So basically, the new announcement is just simply that you don't have to renew or upload. Like if you, in January 1st, so as of today, or excuse me, February 1st, so as of today, if I, as a real estate agent, choose to list my property with a different brokerage, then it zeroes out days on market. What? That's freaking awesome, just so we're all very clear. Before, it was actually very confusing. So we had average days on market, right? That's for like just a consumer to understand how long our properties are actually being on and how that's normal to be on the market, how long it's supposed to be. But then we had days on market and then cumulative days on market. And it's like, well, but what the heck are those? Basically, agents were trying to do like workarounds where they would cancel out the contract, let it sit for 30 days, and then re-upload it, trying to get it to reset. It would reset, but it would still say cumulative days on market. It would still show like 100 days or 200 days or whatever it was, and then maybe 5 days that they did that, right? So it didn't fool anyone. I don't know. I was there, to be honest. But because of this new little thing that they did, and it's only happening like right now, so it's very exciting. I am actually moving brokers. For anyone that's on here, I'm sorry if you didn't know. But no, it's very exciting, and I can't wait to announce all of the amazing tools that I will be able to help you guys with. But basically, it's a full-on luxury, so I'll be a licensed luxury real estate agent. So that'll be an exciting attribute to give to our entire, bulk of properties that we have listed, and will be relisted at 0 days on market. So I'm playing with when to do that. So I'm looking out for you, just so you know, for all of you that are investors on here with us and partners, because I want it to reset right when the market's kind of hitting it, and it is starting to pick up. Stuff's going under contract. And last week I had 4 people tell me, actually on Tuesday, so just yesterday, I had 4 people tell me that over the weekend that there was over 6 offers on one house. Each one of them told me that. So within 24 hours. So we're starting to pick back up. People are starting to get excited. It does need to be priced right at that. So we can't be like pricing it a little high like we kind of have on ours. Well, ours deserves it. I'm sorry. The homes that are being listed really low right now, they're kind of garbage. So they also deserve that. So anyway, I do feel like we're in a good sweet spot to really give it a nice luxury listing. Yeah, I can't wait for the next week. I'll give you some more announcements of what a luxury agent gets to have as far as tools. Okay, and then I'll turn it back over to Mitch if you want to go over the rules while I pull up all of the fun listings.
You got it. Absolutely. Let me get over to the deal or no deal rules here. So we're gonna start on deal or no deal here. We have played this rental edition once before. So every time before that, when we played deal or no deal, it's been for fix and flips. We're not really in a fix and flip market right now, so we're not going to focus as much on fix and flips as we have in the past. Right now, I think the best strategy is to go out and find those seller finance deals, those seller financed acquisitions, and turn them either into long-term rentals. You can seller finance sell them and do what's called a sandwich, where you buy it on seller financing and sell it on seller financing and collect the arbitrage. Or you could do midterm or short-term rentals. So let's go over the rules real quick of how to play. So the moderator, which is me and Maeli, or the winning player of the last round, is going to identify a city. We're going to plug that city into Zillow or Redfin. I think we used Zillow last time, right, Maeli?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to use Zillow. Then the moderator identifies a property. The moderator or the winning player of the last round identifies the minimum cash flow. So we're going to pick a number somewhere between $100 and $500. and the winning player of the last round gets to pick that. So if we're looking for $100 cash flow, that's something that we're going to have to work into our numbers, right? So the purchase price is to be played as listed on Zillow. So as we're looking at these properties on Zillow, we're just going to say that the purchase price is the listing price. Players use the purchase price with a 20% down payment to calculate their mortgage on Zillow.com. So there's actually a calculator on Zillow.com. You're going to want to be in front of a computer or with your phone in order to play this game. So make sure you have Zillow.com up. You might want two tabs open if you're on a computer to where you can bounce between the property or the Zoom screen and the mortgage calculator. Players must identify the number of bedrooms and bathrooms and use rentometer.com to calculate median rent. I think we had a problem last time we played this with Rentometer not letting us do more than like three calculations. So I believe we can just use the Zillow estimate to be able to do that, the Zestimate, on rents. And then the players subtract the monthly payment from the rent with gross, which is going to give you the gross cash flow. So you subtract your monthly mortgage payment from your rent payment to give you gross cash flow. And then players subtract another 10% of the monthly payment for management and expenses. That gives you our net cash flow. So we're going to be calculating the rent, the gross cash flow, the net cash flow, and if the cash flow is above the minimum cash flow, for example, like if the last player says, okay, next round it's going to be $100 cash flow that we're looking for, and if you calculate the cash flow based on those two calculations, so the gross rent, which is the Zestimate, and subtracting another 10% of your monthly payment in mortgage and expenses, or in management and expenses, if that number is lower than $100 in this case, or whatever the previous player said the cash flow was, then it's a deal. Or excuse me, if it's higher than $100, then it's a deal. If it's lower than $100, then it's no deal. Now, how we're going to base who puts or who wins each round is based on the chat. So whoever gets deal or no deal into the chat first and identifies it correctly wins the round. And they get to choose, they become the winning player of the previous round, they get to choose the next city, and they get to choose the next minimum cash flow. Does anybody have any questions on that? I know that was a lot that we just went through. Yes?
Hillary has a question. She just said, I missed what the thing is.
Oh, we're supposed to put on our calendar. Yeah. So Hillary, we are going to Idaho Falls to hear Mark Kohler talk about tax and legal for business owners and real estate investors. So you're not going to want to miss that. Put it on your calendar. Reach out to me if you want to be involved in that because there are some minimum requirements. So...
And can I throw in a little fun thing? So if you do hit these requirements, we're thinking about, and we obviously have to finalize stuff for how many people and whatnot, but for anybody that does and wants to come play, we think we're going to rent an Airbnb up there and then just have all of us powwow inside this big house. That way we can have a fun mastermind after and just hang out and chit chat. So yeah, it'll be really fun.
It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. So, Maeli, why don't you walk us through an example of what I just talked about? Because I just read off the rules of Deal or No Deal. So let's walk through it, and why don't you and I show an example of what that looks like? Do you want to share your screen? Be the moderator on this week's game? Okay.
I have a split. Will it allow me to do that? Oh, interesting.
There it is.
But I don't have to. That'll be nice. Okay. So I won't be able to like use the text or anything like that just because of how this is. Okay. So basically, everyone can see my screen?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so basically this is the first house that we're going to talk about. So things that I want you to pull up on just for easy, access, so you can kind of be flipping back and forth. I'm going to have, just in case, we're going to have to pull up Rentler. I wouldn't say Rentometer. Rentometer is one of those unfortunate scenarios where they don't allow you to use more than, like, unless you subscribe or whatever for their stuff, which is fine. You can subscribe, only comp. Like there might be only one or two comps just because there's no, nothing sold. So hopefully that's helpful just to recognize that Zillow actually is pulling probably one of the most accurate numbers here, at least in Utah. I'm sure it probably follows suits in other areas as well, just based on the information that I'm also receiving from outside of Utah. But feel free to chime in and correct me if that's not the case. Maybe we need to get another agent on the line if you're California and you need. That'd be fun. We should actually invite some California agents on, or if you have some friends in other states, that would be fun to just kind of talk to them and get a feel for what they have to say about what's their market and whatnot. Okay, so this is going to be the property. I also would suggest obviously have a calculator on hand and ready to go. Plug mine in because it's going to die. I was on my phone all day. But okay, so we will get that up and running. So what is the down payment on a seller finance, Bev? Did you say 10%?
Down payment is going to be 20%.
Okay, 20%, even better. Okay. So hope you all got that. So for the first round, so what we're going to look at this as 307. So he said that's purchase price, right? So that is what we're purchasing this property at. And then we're going to say 307,000 times 20%. So your down payment is 61,400, correct? And then from there, you just basically subtract that number from this number, right? So that you have that number. Everyone follow me so far? 307 minus 61,400. I was running all these deals earlier as just traditional lines. So I wasn't running exact lines. This is what I might have run them the same as you. 2,000 times. Okay, and then from there, what do you guys got? What's the next step? Shout it out so we can talk about it. We're gonna scroll down. Go ahead.
We would subtract the 10% management fee is one of them. And then the
but you're gonna
approximate
10% management fee from the
rental.
Right, from the rent amount. So on here we actually do have a rent amount that we can, so it actually gives us established mortgage also, and that is putting, let's see, estimated monthly cost based on, let's see here, mortgage, insurance, interest rate, we can change that. Well, we can go into just, if you wanted to open up 2 tabs, you could with Zillow, because Zillow also has just a calculator here at the top. If you want to go into a mortgage calculator here, then you could actually play with that, right? So if the actual mortgage, so remember though, you're not financing all of that, right? So you're going to take the 300,000 and subtract the 60,000. So 307 minus 61 is 20,000. So you're actually only financing 246, right? So that's what you're financing. And if it's 20%, that's perfect. So it'll calculate that for you. So now this is saying 30 years, but if we wanted to change that, we can. So that's the amortization schedule. So it's saying your payment is $1,445. Okay, so that's our monthly payment. And then what you'll want to do, so it does actually include though insurance, which is nice, and taxes. So personally, I don't know if you need to do a full 10%. I wouldn't for this game we're going to, as far as deduct 10% of the total cash flow. But on my perspective, it's like, well, if it's going to calculate that in, I don't know if I need 10%. I need 10% for a property management fee, fine, right? That's what we're calculating. So go ahead and do that. What's 10% of your totally, oh, did I calculate that out? Sure did. Go away. Go away. Go away. How did I do that? Let's see. Go away. Nice. Okay. So 14, right now. 14 1725. Okay. So you are going to subtract 10% of that. So that's not very much. It's about say $170. We'll let Lester Huff in. There you go, buddy. All right, so if we are on here, we are playing Deal or Deal or No Deal. If you weren't familiar with this, I would pull up Zillow real quick as and a mortgage calculator. I'm using Zillow mortgage calculator to play this game. We're going to burn through this really quickly, though, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, so
Maybe I have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
I'm showing a different interest rate on Zillow than yours. Do we update it to yours?
Ooh, that's probably something that we should talk about.
Yeah, what's our interest rate?
Yeah, let's talk about that. What do you want the interest
Should we
rate?
set it at 6 or 7?
We can do 6. Why don't we just make it even?
Okay.
That works.
Is that fair?
Okay, we'll set it at 6.
Okay. So in this case, let me rewrite this number. So we're at 1736 now.
And we'll always do a 30-year fixed.
Okay, we'll always do a 3-year fixed. Just for now. Obviously, these are all things that can be the down payment is negotiable when you're doing seller finance. The purchase price is negotiable. The term is negotiable, right? And the interest rate is negotiable. So all 4 of these is negotiable. That's my favorite part about seller financing is that I can come in and really figure out whatever they need. Sometimes I have to give them more just to get the terms that I want on this side because we still need a cash flow, right? And that's the whole purpose of this is that at the end of the day, if I'm saying, okay, my payment's going to be $1736 as a mortgage, right? Plus, I'm saying I'm out of pocket, $30,000 or $60,000 in this case, right? Then it's like, okay, well, I better be cash flowing, right? There's no end of story. Like, you have to figure that out. And I went through a lot of properties today, and I didn't cash flow very often, but I think we're going to come out on top quite a few times today based on some of the properties that I already did choose. So that's good. Okay, so we're at 1736. We subtracted 10%, which is management fee, correct? So about 170,000. Okay, we're good there. Anybody else have any questions before we move to the next step?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So on the Zillow calculator, really quick, as I enter 6%, it defaults back to 5.6. Is there a way to have it stay at 6?
I don't think so. Yeah, it's gonna try and.
You need to put 6.0 and then it'll stay.
Oh.
6.0, and then it'll stay. And then the other question is, since it's calculating the 20% there, right? So 60,000. But the payment is the payment 1736. The payment on the difference between the home price and the down payment, it's already taken into account deducting the down payment?
No, so that's what we'll have to do. So on our end, we take 307 and we deduct that out, right? So
Yeah.
here we have to say, okay, we're subtracting $61,000. That's what I have originally when I pulled it up.
So we need to change the 307 to the actual finance amount once we calculate the 20%.
No.
Yep.
No. That's not how I'm seeing
I
it.
think it's taking it into account already.
Yeah, so you put the
It's
full purchase
calculated.
price. You put the full purchase price in home price, and then the down payment is subtracted from that by Zillow.
By Zillow.
Yeah.
So it's a calculator. It's already taking it into account, and then it's breaking it
Right.
down as around that circle.
Yep.
Yes.
So
That's not what I thought. So yes, that's correct. Yes.
yeah, so our payment, including that down payment, brings our payment down to $1,774. And then so now that's going to be our monthly mortgage payment. We have to now figure out what our gross cash flow is by taking what we can rent it for, subtracting our monthly payment, and then subtracting an additional 10% of our monthly payment for management. Okay? And then as long as
1,596 and 60 cents. That's where we all should be at this point in time, subtracting the management fee. Are we there?
And to be clear, we're not including property taxes and homeowners insurance?
No, we are. This is the 1774. So that's actually including the taxes and the insurance.
Interesting enough, mine's showing 1874, but okay.
huh,
word for it. But why don't we, whoever, is doing the deal, will use their numbers. So that will, justify if it's your deal and you're running the numbers, we'll go off of what you have on, you could just tell us this is the interest rate, like this is where we're at. You know what I mean? Because
So-
depending on where you're at too, if you're set, Tim, I think that's who's just talking. If you're set maybe in New York or you're set somewhere else, property manager fees are going to be different, and Zillow will actually take that in consideration as far as taxes, because it'll take in consideration. But if you're looking at this Utah property, it should take in consideration that you're in Utah, right? So I don't know. It is interesting that it doesn't sync up properly to every single person.
So, Maeli, I think the next step then, after we've calculated our mortgage payment, let's look at what we can rent it for.
Right, okay, so let me go back to this guy, and we'll zoom back down here. So usually, actually it's back up here, on these homes, on Zillow will actually tell you what.
So we can rent it for $18.14, and let's say our minimum cash flow is $100.
Okay,
So we've got $18.14, and then subtract our $17.76 will give us our gross.
1590, yeah. You have to add the 10%, right?
Yes. So you've already done that then?
So 17, let's see here, 17, oh, where'd it go? Oh, disappeared. How do I fix that? Oh, there it is. Go away. Exactly what I didn't want it to do. How do I go back to the normal? Go away!
What are you trying to do?
Not any of that. So I can actually see the top of my screen. Does that make sense? It doesn't let me move anything. There we go. Okay. Jeez Louise. Okay, mortgage calculator. So if you're at 1774, and then instead of subtracting 10%, you're actually adding 10% to that number, correct? Is everybody following me? 4 times.
So you're adding $177.
So now, okay, so you're at 1913. Okay, so if that's the case, what are we at?
We're upside down because we can rent it for 18 and change. So no deal.
Upside down.
We've already realized at this point that it's a no deal. You should be putting no deal in the chat. Does that make sense to everybody? We want to
I'm gonna
hit.
go slower this time just to try and help everyone, kind of go through it. We think that that's probably the easiest way to break it down. So you're gonna add 10%. I think that's where we went wrong there, on my side as well. So you don't want to subtract 10% from this number. You're going to add 10% because you're subtracting that number from the total mortgage amount.
Right.
Hopefully that's helpful.
And our goal is whatever the minimum cash flow is for that round. So that'll be set each round. So if our end result of that, in this case, we're upside down $140, right? But if our minimum cash flow is positive $100, we'd need to be making at least that for it to be a deal. So even if it's positive, but it's not hitting that minimum cash flow threshold, then it's still no deal. Okay?
So Mitch and Maeli, if you're taking your payment there in the circle, you just take that times 1.1, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's adding 10%.
Exactly.
And that'll give you your payment plus 10%.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. That's the easy way to do it.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions before we get started on round one?
Quick question.
Yeah.
The 10% that we're adding is for the management company?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good question. You will also find that in different areas, property management fees are different. says so. Whatever. gotta have some fun in life. Look, Dave Cokerhound's on the beach already. We gotta go join him.
I love it. Okay, are we ready to get started, guys?
One question, what is the Rentlers website for?
So, Rentler will allow you, so if I'm like, hey, what's Ogden's rents, right? So it'll actually allow me, for instance, that property was, or the property we're about to be in is in Riverdale. It'll actually show me that there's no existing rentals available in Riverdale. That's interesting, but the only thing, there's 3 that are houses that are for rent currently right now, and this is what they're for rent for.
So we can use either that or Zillow's rent Zestimate.
I think let's unify it, Melee. When you're analyzing live properties, Rentler, yes, absolutely is a fantastic tool. I think for the sake of this game, just so everybody's on the same page, let's just go off of the Zillow's estimate since we're already on the site.
The issue though, Viv, and the reason why I brought it up was that sometimes these properties don't actually have a Zestimate for rent. So
Okay. Well, we've got to pick properties that have it then.
okay, that's a good rule.
Okay.
I like it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I think Rosa, you have won. I think more of these competitions than anyone else. So I'm gonna let you have the first pick of where we're going to be working out of for round 1. What city? Well, I think you're on mute.
Okay, let's do, it's a California property, so Fontana, Fontana, California.
Fontana.
Correct.
Okay. What was the address?
No. So, Melee, you're going to type Fontana, California into the search bar. Sorry, I usually moderate these, so I'll teach you how to moderate as we go.
I can give you an address.
F-O-N.
Put the address in. Why would you?
Sure, let me give you an address. It's 16,
If you had a property, sorry. Yeah.
so 16287 Los, L-O-S, Coyotes, that one.
Bingo. Sorry, I just thought you had a property. I was like, why would I
Fucking
type
talked
in
over everything.
city? Gotcha, that makes sense.
Good hell.
Randomly picking that makes sense. Okay, here it is. Ooh, I like it. Does it have an HOA?
No.
Okay, so let's see if it has a rentals estimate, Melee. Oh, rent's estimate right there, 3323. Okay, so guys, we're gonna set you loose for round 1. Rosa, what's the minimum cash flow for this round?
California, we need to at least have $500 cash flow.
$500 minimum cash flow.
Very doable.
Going for the max, huh? I love it. All right, let's do it. So round 1, let's go ahead and set you guys loose. We are going to put 2 minutes on the timer here. Let me get that up.
Let
2
me make
minutes.
this clear too. It doesn't say that this home is for sale. So because it's not for sale, you're gonna need to go off just the rent estimate here. So that is the sold price. That's what we'll go off of. Is that fair?
Yep, that's our purchase price. Yep. So guys, you are going to plug that into the rent calculator. And Melee, you've got to share your screen and let them look at this information, so you're not going to be able to do that on your screen. But let's go ahead and have you guys start in just a second. But I'll let you know when to start. So pencils down for now. But when you go into the mortgage calculator, you're going to put $627,300. That's our estimate on the purchase price. Remember to put 20% down. Calculate your monthly payment. 10% of that monthly payment is reduced from the cash flow, and then you add that to your monthly payment, I guess is what I should say, and then you're going to subtract the difference between the rent estimate and the monthly mortgage payment. Rosa has set the minimum cash flow for $500 in this round. So if the end cash flow ends up being lower than $500, put no deal in the chat. If it ends up being higher than $500, then put deal in the chat. First person to get it right wins. So we got 2 minutes. Yes,
We're using the 6% 30-year AM.
that's correct. Yep. So we're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. On your mark, get set, go. I don't have that property up. So I will run numbers. Well,
Perfect. Let me see if I can actually guess here. I bet I can guess pretty good. Just based on
you guys are fast.
they are quick. Good job.
45 seconds left on the clock.
Look at that though. Cochran's coming in first. I love it. No deal.
Okay, we can. Does anybody need more time? There's still 20 seconds left on the clock. If you need more time, speak up.
It's totally fine if you do, especially this first round. Take a second, really figure it out. This is what, rapid fire. You guys just did this in about 30 seconds. How awesome is that? And you can just run numbers 30 seconds.
Okay,
That's my favorite part about
time's up. Pencils down. All right, so looks like Dave Cokerhans Jr. came in with no deal. So walk us through, Dave. Walk us through how you got your numbers.
I think Tim actually came in on before I did.
Doesn't show that, but
So on our end, it looks like you came in first.
yeah.
Oh wait, nope. No, right? Was it Rosa? It might have been Rosa.
It says 7.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking. Did you put no deal in earlier? That's what it was.
Rosa and I both came in at 7:41.
Okay. Who are you? I'm showing Rosa above Tim. So what are you guys seeing on your end?
Same.
Okay, Rosa. Walk us through how you got it.
Well, first of all, I had a really hard time with the Zillow calculator, so I had to find a bank rate mortgage calculator.
And you still won.
Well, yes, and it's very like when I punched in the 627, 300, and the 6%, we're already at 3421 before even adding the 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And this estimate is 3,300
Yep.
for the rental, right? So right off the bat, without doing any further math, it's going to be a negative cash flow.
Right.
So I didn't have to do more thought or any more calculation just because I saw the total payment against this estimate, and that was game over.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
So this is where you find the mortgage calculator. I have a couple people in the chat asking where we can find the, Zillow calculator. So if you're on the normal home screen of Zillow, you just go to home screen, or home loans, excuse me, and then mortgage calculator. But if you're struggling with a mortgage calculator, you can go to any of your banks, right? Like if you do Mount America, or if you're a Zions, or wherever you're at, they always have a mortgage calculator on there as well. So if you're struggling with the Zillow one for whatever reason, I tend to just use their platform because I'm always in one, if I'm going to be in Zillow, then I'll use their platform. But it doesn't really matter where you're getting them if they're giving you accurate numbers.
All right. Well done, Rosa. That means you get to pick round 2 as well. So what city are we going to be playing in round 2?
Let's do Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida. So Maeli, if you pull up.
I don't have an address for Orlando, Florida.
That's all right. Let's just pull up Orlando, Florida, and Maeli pick a good one that has a rent estimate on it.
Well, let's see here. Might have to go through a few, but
320 looks good.
Yeah, so I was like, ooh, what's this? I wonder if it's a HOA. And Mo was like, no, no HOA. All right, so this estimate is 331. I always love when that's lower than this, right? That's fantastic. Let's see if it has it.
So we'll go off to 320 because that's what they're asking.
Yep. And so there's this estimate. Tax history. Estimated monthly cost.
There it is.
There it is. Okay.
$2,300. Okay, so this is our property. The purchase price is $320,000. Our rent comps bring us in at $2,300. We're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. On your mark, get set, go.
How much cash flow? Still at 500, right?
Oh, that was for you to call. What's your number?
Fine. Let's do 500.
500. Okay. I missed that. Sorry.
Quick was that. Oh, got some controversy happening. No deal. No deal.
Oh, lots of changes.
Just kidding, no deal. I'm with you though, Rosa. Before you said $500 cash, I was like, ooh, deal. Like, deal. I'm like, oh, not 500. And that was just mental math. So.
All right, we got a minute left on the clock for you, those of you who are still running your numbers.
I like this property. Who wants to come in on this with me? Oh, HYP. Well, that's not terrible. $90. In this case, what I would do too is I would call the HOA. So this is, just some while you're still running numbers. I would call the HOA and find out if they allow like subleases or if they allow like rentals, like what they will allow. And if they even allow rentals, because sometimes HOAs don't even allow rentals. And you have to do some digging on that. It's clean. I mean, it's for rentals, great. I wonder how close it is to. Hey, babe, should we buy it? Come live in
Yeah,
our
right.
house. Get the heck out of here.
Okay, time's up. Pencils down. All right, so Rosa, is no deal your final answer?
It cash flows, but not 500. So yeah.
Not 500.
not a
Okay.
deal.
All right, Tim, talk us through how you got there. You're on mute if you're talking. Tim, you there? Ooh, you got to claim your prize, my friend. Tim? All right, Aaron Merrill. How'd you get there?
Can you hear me?
Oh, is that Tim? There he is.
I'm
Tim.
not sure why my space bar was not working.
No worries. You just about lost that one. I'm glad you glad you got to
All
it.
right. So basically, we're financing $256,000 with a 20% down payment, giving us a mortgage payment of $1,986. Sorry about that. And we're adding in the rental assessment on that was $2,300. That's what I had written down. And basically, plus the 500, which is at a little bit tad over, at was it 2486? So that's a close call, really, but I still say no deal.
Okay. No deal it is. All right, so Tim takes round 2. All right, Tim, you get to pick our next city. Where would you like to
Mitch,
work?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can we just discuss a little bit on those numbers?
Yeah.
I want to make sure, like,
Yeah, let's do it.
if it's the calculator or Tim, you mentioned it's 1,900, and I come up with 1,745 on the payment. It's still a no deal, but I just want to understand why the $200 difference.
We pulled it off his estimate, correct?
That
The value, which is
actually,
the 320, and I ran it through the calculator, which is the same numbers that they've got up on the screen.
So, Maeli, do you want to pull up the mortgage calculator, your last tab there?
Yeah,
I'm sure you're correct, and I just want to understand why my calculator. Again, I had a hard time finding the calculator to begin with.
So we're 320,000.
320.
And 20% puts us at 64,000. So that's 1821.
So 6% though,
no.
right?
At
no, you
six.
gotta put in 6.1. Yeah,
Yeah, there we are.
I got 1845.
That's probably where we'll end up. Let's take a look. 1845. Yep.
Oh, that's wow. Mine includes the taxes. Is that on there?
Yeah.
That's what
And then add 10% to that.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're adding another 185 bucks.
I don't know that that does. I don't know that that includes. That does. It does.
It does, yeah. Because P&I is saying that it's only 1535. So
I
this
used
would be-
the calculator on Zillow, the one that's under payments. That's weird.
Gotcha.
I
So,
do
but it's-
find that if you're not under the actual tab mortgage calculator and you're just going off of figure out payments, that the software is designed to try and get you to be like, oh yeah, like this is. So if you're using, it is weird. I have found that if I go on the property and then I hit, calculate payments from that same window, it doesn't run it. Like if I go like right here when it's like, get pre-qualified or. Or somewhere right here, right? Somewhere it usually says like estimate your payments. But if you do it from this specific spot, I don't know why, but it's not accurate. So I would pull up a different window, just so you have the two.
But we're just actually we're only a couple. We're not too
Yeah.
far off. Here.
So I came up with 270. Is that what you came up with?
That's what I came up with.
With what?
270 as the cash flow.
Oh.
Yeah, cash flows
All right, so let's have Tim pick the next city.
Ooh.
Okay. Next city will be Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas.
I'm trying to find. Maybe you can help me. I'm trying to find a condo tower located west of the strip.
Let's see
This
here.
deal actually just came through us today, so it's perfect. I was doing this.
Yeah. So somebody said they want to do some type of. Let's get rid of this because this is probably not the case any longer. How much are you willing to spend on it?
Actually, this one is. Shoot, I wrote it down. I think it was 288.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
On a condo, let's get rid of these guys. We'll narrow this down for you. Hopefully this is helpful in training too, just so you can kind of see this. So we're gonna drop. Sounds like we gotta take this down to $100,000. Let's see what's available here. And you really want to narrow it down. You said it was like two something.
Yeah, it's 288. I think something like that.
Okay, so how cool. Let's see here. We got a tower we're looking for. Let's see. I'm surprised how many things are actually for sale in the 200.
Yeah, I'm looking here too. Let's do the one that was on top. From Signature. I'm very familiar with that property actually.
Which
So
one?
we're gonna have to move up the maximum to 400, I guess.
Price? Okay. You get it, dude.
Yeah, that 340.
Right here? Oh, okay.
I've stayed there before.
Is that
several
Trump
times. It's a
Tower?
nice place.
Is that Trump? No.
No, it's not. No.
Dang, that's pretty.
Look at that HOA fee. Holy moly.
Whoa.
Wait, what is it?
705.
Oh, geez, yeah, holy smokes. I mean, that's not terrible, to be honest.
No, it really isn't. And I'm wondering if that includes.
Yeah, oh, yeah, pools and access to all the parking, I'm sure. That's not terrible.
Living at a resort. That's awesome. There it is.
2199.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like it's high enough for me. Only 21,000. What the heck?
2100, 2200 really.
Or 2100. That's terrible.
What's our minimum cash flow, Tim?
It's got to be 500.
$500. Okay. All right. So we have $340 as our purchase price. We've got basically $2,200 as our rent price. We are going to be putting 2 minutes on the clock. On your mark, get set, go.
Oh yeah, there's a bar and lounge, workout facility. Ah.
45 seconds left.
Only 540 square feet. Okay, cool.
25 seconds left.
And we don't know how many bedrooms it is.
It's a studio.
Oh, okay. Okay, so $700 a month. It's a little pricey, I guess, for a studio, but hey, you get what you pay for.
3, 2, 1, and pencils down. All right, guys. So we got Charlotte came in first with no deal. Then it was Dave Cokerhans Jr., no deal. Rosa, no deal. Tim, no deal. Aaron, no deal. Hillary, no deal. So this sounds like a no deal. Charlotte, walk us through how you got there. Charlotte, you're on mute if you're talking. Charlotte, you there?
Sorry, I will have a hard time going off. I mean, on speaker. Hold on just a minute.
No, you're just fine.
Yeah, I just eyeballed it from what I know. I mean, I've gotten several mortgages in the last several years, and I know what my payments are.
Okay.
And so I know based on the amount that my mortgages were, plus the $700, is less than asking price. So I knew immediately that it was a no deal, just because of the rates have gone up.
Okay.
I borrowed less, and so I didn't need to think about it too much. So
I like
kinda
this.
cheated, but it was just my fault.
What you're saying is experience as a real estate investor gives you an advantage. You start to get a feel for things, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Something
So
that we need to take into consideration is the income that's generated off that. But we already said it's going to be a Zestimate. We're using the Zestimate, but it's much higher than that.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so the way that we would normally run this, and this brings up a really good point, Tim, just kind of an educational point. The way that we would normally run this is we would go get rent comps, right? So we would look at other units that are being rented out that are similar to this inside this complex, and we would use those numbers, average out those numbers. We get at least 3. We'd take the average, and that's what we'd be able to rent it out for. For the sake of the game, we're using this estimate.
All of the units are exactly the same.
Okay.
The furnishings, furniture, the whole bit. It's actually run like a hotel. And it's
Got
all rentals for the most part. And the rates are all over. I'm just double checking right now on kayak to see what they are. But normally I spend anywhere between, I want to say 130. You add on resort fees, you know how that goes there. And it's managed completely different than an Airbnb or anything else like a short-term rental would be. It's actually administered through the HOA.
Nice.
Atlanta does that a lot as well.
This looks like an awesome deal. I'd chase it. I mean, for the sake of the game, we got to go off the numbers. It wasn't a deal, but it may be a deal in real life. So you pursue it. Okay, well, we're gonna give the point to Charlotte. She shotgunned it using her intuition based off of being an experienced real estate investor, which is something you can do. Obviously, if we were to put this deal under contract and get into a due diligence period, we'd want to, sharpen our pencil and get those numbers correct. But we're gonna give the point to Charlotte. So, Charlotte, you mentioned that you're having a hard time getting on speaker, so I'm gonna use the Rockford, Illinois that you suggested earlier. And if you'd like to, just shoot us a minimum cash flow that you'd like to use for this round.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything for under 500 as well. I wouldn't spend the time on it.
Okay.
Because I don't understand when people say they'll do it for 100 because there's too many things that can come up that you have to fix.
Yep.
That add up to that.
Agreed.
What are we doing?
Rockford, Rockford, Illinois.
I put a link in the chat.
Oh, brilliant.
There it is, getting out in the Midwest.
Let's see a link. Oh, up higher. You are on top of it, girl. I love it. $63. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
63,000. I love it.
$63. Just kidding.
I just have been looking in this area just because we actually are trying to find my mother-in-law something to move into while we fix her house. And I just saved a few of them just as reference points because I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a market that has not, the prices of these homes are just ridiculous. And the rents are still pretty average, they average for small town USA. So you buy a house for $63,000, you can still rent it for, I think it says $1,200.
Yeah. 1150. Yep. All right. Well, we might have the first deal of the day. I don't know. Let's do the numbers and find out. So our purchase price on this house is $63,000. Our rent estimate is $1150. And our minimum cash flow is set at $500. There's 2 minutes on the clock. On your mark, get set, go. Got 50 seconds left.
807.
And guys, if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, you should be playing along with us. You should be trying to see if you can beat the fastest person on the board here, or just seeing if you can run the numbers yourself and make this make sense. Once you kind of get in the habit of doing this, it's going to become more and more natural. And just like we saw Charlotte do on the last round, you're going to start getting a feel for this, and it's going to give you a really good eye as to whether things are deals or not. Okay, we got 10 seconds left. All right, pencils down. Let's take a look here. All right. So Rosa put deal, but I'm actually going to pick on Alden Sparks because he put something interesting here. Alden, can you come off mute for us? But you put 2% rule. Walk us through what you did there.
Yeah, so I didn't run any numbers. It just rents for 2% of the purchase price, so it's
Okay.
all cash flow.
Okay.
That's,
Can
yeah.
give a little bit more around that, just for those who are new to the call.
So there's this 1% rule that exists, which is where I got the 2% rule from. 1% rule is this idea that if it rents for 1% of the purchase price, it's generally going to cash flow. It's one of those 30-second evaluation methods.
Yeah.
So like I have no idea what a mortgage payment on it is. I don't know what the taxes are. I don't know what management fees are going to be. But if it'll rent for 1% of whatever it's buying, and this is probably on a lower interest loan, but still, if it's going for 2% of the purchase price, I'm just figuring in my head it's going to cash flow pretty well.
Perfect. Okay. So I am curious, Rose. Let's go back to you. Thank you, Alden. I think that's a great way to quickly identify whether properties are worth your time. And remember, we've got to be looking at a lot of properties to find that deal out there, right? I mean, we didn't get to a deal until our 4th round here in the game. And in real life, it's even worse than that. You're going to get a lot more no's than you're going to get yeses. So to be able to quickly analyze a deal just with something like the 1% rule or the 2% rule is going to give you a good idea of whether or not this is worth your time. Now, I wouldn't stop there. I wouldn't make an offer after you do the 2% rule, but that would let you know, hey, yeah, this works with the 2% rule. Maybe I should spend some time analyzing it, crunching some numbers. Again, quick analysis. We're just looking to see if we should even be entertaining this property at all at this point. So this is not deciding whether or not we're actually going to purchase it. This is deciding whether or not it's worth our time to pursue talking to the homeowner, seeing if they're willing to sell, those types of things. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish with this activity, is to look and see if the deal's worth our time to further analyze. So obviously we've gotten a few no deals here. We've been able to do it within 2 minutes. But Rosa, were you able to get a were you able to get a cash flow number in your calculations?
Yes. 817 is what I came up with on the cash flow.
Okay, 817.
I got the 654 as well, but I think it's
654. Okay. I know, Rosie, you're using a slightly different calculator, so it might give you.
Actually, no. I got the Zillow going when Maeli walked us through it. So the 10% is added to the rent amount, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 817.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Well, Rosa, you won this round. You get to pick. Well done. You get to pick our next location. Do you want to pick, or do you want to pass it to someone else?
I can pick.
Okay.
Idaho Falls.
Ooh, Idaho Falls. I like it.
Hey, we're headed there. I love that.
Right.
Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Buy a house there so we can constantly do some big fun Airbnbs there.
Mark J. Kohler, my favorite character on YouTube there. So.
Hey, second favorite character.
Okay, right. Second favorite character. That's correct.
Boise, Idaho. Do you want to have like a...
Idaho Falls.
Idaho Falls.
Idaho Falls.
I really like that Rockford, Illinois area.
Pursue some of that.
There you go. We find some gems playing this game. I love it.
So that 10% is supposed to be added to what we're paying, not what we're renting. Not the, like on the last example, it would be 10% additional to the rent zestimate.
It's
So it'd be the 10% on the calculator you would add to what your payment is.
So I think the best way to do it is to calculate your gross cash flow first. So take your rent amount and subtract it by your payment amount. There's your gross cash flow. Then take your rent amount, find out what 10% of that is, subtract that from your gross cash flow. That's your net cash flow. And then compare that to the minimum cash flow. That will tell you whether it's a deal or not. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, Mitch. I think there's confusion right there. So if the rent was 1150, 10% of that is 115. You add that to the 1150, or you add that to the 484.
So the 484,
448.
the 448 would have been the purchase price, right? Or is that the monthly payment?
That's the month. That's
Yeah.
our monthly payment.
So yes, so our gross rent is static. Whatever we can rent it for is what we can rent it for, right? So then we're subtracting our costs. Our costs, for the sake of this game, are our mortgage payment and our management fees / utilities. That 10% that we're of wiggle factor that we're giving ourselves for those costs. So you're going to add that to your monthly payment cost.
Got it. So then the cash flow was incorrect. It is lower. It's 587. I added the 115 to the 1150, which is the rent amount. We're still cash flowing above 500, but it is. I was adding it to the wrong
That's
number.
what I thought you did.
Okay. But great news, it's still a deal, right?
You're not wrong. So I'm glad you're being nice.
Of course, these are the kinds of things that we catch as we get further along in the process. But this particular exercise is to teach us how to quickly crunch some numbers, back of the napkin math, in order to be able to see whether a deal is worth our time to pursue or not, right? We're not committing to buy it at this point, but we are committing some time to it. And for a real estate investor, time is valuable.
It would be fun in the future to also compare, like Alden said, the 1% and 2%. That's easy enough anyway.
Yeah,
To see what the differences are in different markets.
I like it.
So I'm just randomly playing over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's-
I do love that. So unfortunately, I don't know if y'all saw this, but evidently I didn't know this. Zillow doesn't exist in Idaho.
Okay. Well, let's go somewhere else. Pick another place, Rosa.
Okay, let's do Colorado Springs, Colorado.
COLO. Right there, the second one.
Colorado Springs. Okay, not very much. Interesting. Colorado. They're going like crazy right now. Oh, it's because I put this so low. I'm like,
The west, the east side is pretty big. Yeah.
yeah. What do we want to see? What do we want to see, people?
How about this 330,000 one? Right there.
Right there, right there.
Okay, so purchase price is 330,000. What is our?
Let me verify that there's a rent.
That's what condo said too, didn't it?
Yeah. Maintenance and rent. Let's see, is estimate. Rent. So,
This one doesn't have a rent estimate. Okay, let's pick a different property then.
I'm sorry, one more. McAllen, Texas.
Oh, well, we can.
Mountain. Well, how about we finish this one and then we'll go
Oh,
back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Of course yours is weird. Price cut 50,000. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see here. On the one you're about to do, Rosa, will you verify that there's a rent?
Yeah, we're not getting any rent estimates on here. Let's try McAllen, Texas. See if we have better luck.
Go to actual. These are all just condos. I wonder if I just kept it too low.
I have one if you want an address.
Hey, sure. If you want to throw it in, I'd love to just copy and.
It is the actual, let me
That's fine.
copy and paste it.
Okay, cool.
Sorry. It's kind
No,
of,
you're fine. Either way, it doesn't matter. That didn't work, did it? All right.
There it is.
Okay.
$1,500 a month. All right. So purchase price on this little gem in McAllen, Texas, is $125,000, and our monthly gross rent is $1,500. So let's run the numbers based off of those numbers there. We're gonna put 2 minutes on the clock. On your mark, get set, go.
I have a question. This is not a condo? Because it says in the address APTF1.
Yeah, it is. It said it at the bottom. There's an HOA in there.
It is a condo.
Oh,
I said it.
So we're gonna ignore that for now, just for the sake of the. We're gonna ignore HOAs. Obviously, there are things that we have to take into account, but that's what that 10% does. Real quick, Rosa, what's the minimum cash flow? I didn't ask you.
500.
500. Okay. So that's what that 10% that we factor in is for those types of expenses.
That is?
So based on where we're at time-wise, this is our last round. And currently, Rosa has 2 wins. She's won 2 rounds this game. Tim has won 1 round, and Charlotte has won 1 round.
Oh, snap.
Snap.
What was the rental on that again?
It was 1,500.
15?
And then
Yep.
if you add the 10%, it's just $150 to that. So I get $150.
All right, pencils down. Okay, looks like let's see, where am I? I got lost here in our chat. Looks like Dave Cokerhans. Deal. Tell us how you found it, my friend. Walk us through it.
Okay, so the 785 is what the payment is on the mortgage calculator.
Okay.
Then you add 10% to that, and you're at 863, subtract 1,500, 637, calculate.
So say that again, what the mortgage payment was?
So the monthly payment is 785. So then we add 10% to that.
Where'd you get 785?
It's 125,000 on the home price. Is that right?
Oh, I thought it was 120. That's what I did wrong. Sorry. It's 125. Gotcha.
So
I was like, wait a
125.
second. Got it.
Payment comes to 785. You add 10% of that, $78 ish.
Yep, okay.
That's
Doesn't the 10%
863.
come off of the rent?
No, it comes off of your payment, right?
Yep.
So then subtract the 863 from your what you're going to be renting it for was 1,500. So now you're getting 637 cash flow.
637 cash flow. It's actually supposed to come off of the gross rent,
Okay.
the 10%, but it still is a deal. It's still a
That's
deal.
where I was confused because when we first did it, we were taking it off of the payment, adding it to the payment.
I think where the confusion is that we calculate the 10% off of the rent we're collecting, but we add that amount to the payment
Right.
we're going to make.
Yes,
That's where the
exactly.
confusion.
Yep. But still a deal. So well done. All right. Well, Dave, you won that round. We're going to wrap this up and kind of talk lessons from, what we learned here. So Rosa, you won 2 of the rounds today. Congratulations. You are the champion as usual, right? I love it. I think Rosa's won more of these games than anyone else. So well done. Keep it up. We also had Tim on the board today. We had Charlotte on the board, and we had Dave Coker-Hans Jr. So good job, guys.
And Alden Sparks.
And Alden Sparks. Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys for playing. So what did we learn from this? What's some of the takeaways that you guys had from this? What'd you say, Tim?
So we need to move.
We need to move. Yeah. Yep.
My biggest takeaway, Mitch, really quick, I'm going to share is that there are a ton of deals out there.
There are a ton of deals.
May not be in our local market, but there's a ton of deals out there.
Yep, there are. Absolutely. I think one of the takeaways that I took from tonight, that we've been seeing in the market is we're getting fewer and fewer deals. There are still deals out there. You're absolutely right. And some, especially those Midwest locations. But you know what? We can invest anywhere with the right strategies. And I think the deals that, the deals that are coming back no deal would work if we had lower interest rates. I think what's really hurting us right now is the high values and the high interest rates. The way we can get around that is by seeking out seller financing. So, that's talking to homeowners and seeing if you can use their mortgage. Now, your average homeowner that's in good standing with their mortgage company, they're not going to be super interested to do that necessarily. We rarely come across homeowners that are willing to do that, but people who maybe are behind on their payments and are going to lose their home to the bank, these are people that have a big problem that we can come in and solve. And a lot of times, imagine if someone, got their mortgage in early 2021 at a 2.5% interest rate. We can come in and take over that mortgage, take over the payments, keeping the mortgage in their name so it doesn't go on our credit. And now we have a rental property that we can rent out for cash flow. So just having the right strategies in your tool belt will mean the difference between deal or no deal, right? So a lot of good takeaways from tonight. Guys, this was awesome. Any feedback or questions on what we did tonight and how to quickly analyze a rental property?
I want to know how to find more of those $6,300 mortgage areas.
Yeah, the 63,000. Yeah, absolutely. There's, I think the Midwest is just ripe with deals like that. Maeli, you're on mute if you're.
So Michigan has a bunch of those. Definitely Illinois has a ton. Lansing, Michigan has homes for $40,000 all over the place. So it's just kind of figuring out if you want to be in those areas. Some of them are pretty rough. We have a instructor though. One of our classes, all he does is buys really, really, really bad distressed homes, and he makes a killing on them. But his full-on strategy is sketch. I personally
And there it is. Guys, thanks so much for being here tonight. Oh, was there someone else?
I was just saying, awesome, thank you.
Oh yeah, you got it. Absolutely. Thank you for being here tonight. Guys,
Thank you guys, Mitch and Maeli, you guys are awesome.
absolutely. Well, it's our pleasure. We enjoy being here. We enjoy hanging out with you guys on Wednesday nights. Make sure that you're back here next Wednesday night. That's mitchandmaelylive.com to join the Zoom call. Or if you just want to watch, you can catch YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel, we broadcast these live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be back next week with a guest speaker teaching us about how to understand mortgages. You're not going to want to miss that, because whether you're going to go out and buy investment properties traditionally, or if you're going to take over the previous owner's mortgage and do a seller financing acquisition, then you have to have a certain level of understanding about how mortgages work. So she's going to come in and she's going to talk to us about those mechanics and how we can use that to our advantage as real estate investors. So make sure you mark it on your calendar. We're going to be back here next week. In the meantime, guys, if you need anything from me or Maeli, we are happy to serve. We love you guys, and if you need help from us, reach out. So, guys, stay hungry, stay healthy, stay happy. Go out and do some real estate. I love you all. Have a fantastic night.